What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. I did a little poll and more guys requested a Eptic the end based tutorial than a JAWS. So we're gonna have JAWS going next week. Alright, anyways, this is the sound. You already heard it in the demo, but yeah, I believe it's an E. It's all made in massive, no external effects. It's pretty close, I think. And there's a lot going on, as you can see. There's a lot of different things being modulated. We got phase going on. So I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Our first oscillator is going to be a squelchy. Wavetone position is going to be all the way up. It's going to be on spectrum. Just like wavetone position and intensity are both up. Put the amp down because we're going to be modulating the amp. And yeah, so we're not going to touch any of our modulators here. So just leave those alone. The pitch is going to be at 0 for now too. Turn on the modulation and turn on phase for oscillator 1. And turn the pitch to 60 semitones. So just move it up to 60. If you guys watched my previous tutorial, we went over how putting it at 60 gives it a really high pitched kind of sound if you're looking for that. And then I put the phase at about 5%. So all you want to do is just move that up a little bit. The more phase you put up, the more strong of a presence that the oscillator is gonna make. Do you hear? So I like to keep it in the median between a strong amount of phase and a low amount of phase. So our insert 1 is just going to be a filter. High pass, low pass. Put the high pass a little less than 50 and the low pass all the way up. This way we can cut out a lot of the sub frequencies because there are a lot of sub frequencies in this preset. So we don't have to use any external EQs or anything to cut that out. Now for our little series of parallel knob here, we want to move that to about 25% and turn on filter 1 and filter 2. Make sure their volumes are both all the way up. Our scream, we're going to have a scream filter. Oops, my bad. Scream filter for filter 1. Cutoff is going to be all the way down. Scream's a little less than 50%. Resonance, turn that up to about 15-20%. Let me take that modulator off there. Alright, so filter 2 is going to be a double notch. Turn the cutoff to about 80% or 85%. Okay, so now we're going to get into our effects. I tried putting on some distortion, but it just brings out the phase too much. So if you want to put on distortion on it, I recommend you turn the phase down and then, well, not all the way, but turn it down a bit and then put on whatever distortion that you want. That way you can get in that median between the two again. So effects 2, I normally put dimension expander on effects 2 because I like to save FX1 as an open slot for distortions and such that you cannot put in effects 2 because of the way they want the inserts to run. It's kind of complicated to explain, but put on a dimension expander. Dry, wet, and size are kind of all optional. I like to turn my size up just a little bit and then dry, wet to about 45%, 40%. What I was trying to say earlier is that these are kind of like the final effects that you would put over everything, reverb, chorus, all that stuff. Mainly depth, dimension, all that stuff is going to be factored as the last of the effects. So our EQ, I left the low shelf at 50%. I turned the boost to about 15%, the frequency at 90%. High shelf all the way up, or else we're just gonna be having a lot of low frequencies and nothing's gonna sound that good. See, without it, maybe turn that down a bit. It doesn't really matter. Routing, I just left the routing the same. If it doesn't look like that, make it look like that. Okay, so, oh yeah, voicings, I didn't do much here. Just one voice, Alright, so into our modulating, I used a performer, and for the curve, I put on this triangle wave and moved it to just one bar, so I didn't have to do the work of putting it through every single one of these bars. Turn the X fade sequence just all the way up. Turn the ratio to 1/16. Put it on sync, restart, and all that stuff. Put the amp all the way up. And now, first thing I put it on was the amp of our Squelchy oscillator, and turn it all the way up. I also put it on the cutoff of our filter 1, which is a scream, and turned it all the way up. Then put it on our notch filter, and then made it going back negative to just under halfway. So, yeah, I also put it on the mix, made it going down, so it's just under halfway on the mix. So going negatives. It's going to, as it modulates up the triangle, it's also going to pass through the double notch filter more so as if I didn't modulate this, which is the sound that we're kind of shooting for. So I put it also on the boost, turned it to about halfway, and the frequency made it go back to about halfway. That's it for that one. Finally, if you hear, we do have some pitch modulation that we want to get. Oh wait, sorry. I also put it on the master amp. That's probably important. But we do have some pitch modulation going on here too. So I did the same thing, triangle wave, one bar, but I made the ratio 1/1. And then I put it on the pitch for oscillator 1 and its modulation. Both turn it up, just one semitone. That was it. That's going to give us the squeaking up and down sound that we hear. And that's really all there was to this sound. It's pretty cool that you can make such a cool sound in just massive alone. I would think that it'd normally be like a serum type bass with some external effects, but Massive always surprises me with his capabilities. So make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already. If you like this video, make sure you like it. So I'm out, guys. Later.